Hello Duel Masters fans. Today I'm going to do a deck profile of my Survivors deck. Now Survivor decks more or less use the same cards, but I decided to do a deck profile on mine anyway, just to show you guys what cards I use and what ratio of cards that I do use. So first off, I'm going to start with all the Survivors in the deck, and of course the first Survivor is always blazosaur Q, 2 mana 1000 power plus, gives all your Survivors power attack 1000, and yeah, just the cheapest survivor and good evolution bait and all that good stuff. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with blazosaur Q. Of course, the next survivor is Smashworm Q, one of the most important survivors that you can have in a deck. 3 mana 2000 power plus and gives all your survivors 1000 power. Pretty much makes it so that all your survivors can't get killed by burst shot, or most of them. And if you have multiple Smashworm Qs on the field, all your survivors can become quite big. So yeah, definitely a must-have in any survivor deck. The next survivor is one you don't see very often, skullsweeper Q. I've mainly got him in here just because he's the best 4 mana survivor. And I think he's a pretty good card. Gives all your survivors the ability so that when they attack, your opponent has to discard a card. The reason you don't see him played very often is because he only has 1000 power, so he can be destroyed pretty easily, really. But he's also like a pseudo finisher. If you have like heaps of survivors on the field and you play skullsweeper Q, you can just keep on breaking your shields and discarding those shields out of your opponent's hand. Of course, if those shields are shield triggers, you're kind of screwed. But yeah, I still think skullsweeper Q is a solid survivor. The next two I've got is Gigaling Q. Gives you all your survivors Slayer, 5 mana, 2000 power. I think running one of this card would be the best ratio, but I've only got 2 Q-tronic gargantua, so I'll put in a second Gigaling Q to kind of make up for it. But yeah, I still think Gigaling Q is a solid card. The next survivor is 2 Graveworm Q. This is basically the dark reversal of survivors. When you summon it, you get to return a survivor from your graveyard back to your hand. 5 mana, 3000 power, so it is quite a big survivor as far as survivors go. 3000 power is not bad at all. So yeah, I'm just running 2 of them. Next up, we have one of the most important survivors again, is Factory Shell Q. This card here basically makes it so that we don't need to run water in this deck in order to get card advantage, because when we play him, we get to search out a survivor from our deck and put it into our hand. So it's kind of like Rumbling Terrorhorn, but for survivors. And of course, all your survivors get that ability, so once this guy comes onto the field, and then if you can make him survive, yeah, you can just generate heaps of card advantage by continuously summoning all your survivors. So yeah, definitely a must in all survivor decks. And the last survivors I'm running is of course 2 Q-tronic gargantua. I'd probably run 3 if I had a third one, but 2 is still good enough to get the job done. 6 mana, 9000 power, evolution onto a survivor, and he breaks an additional shield for each other survivor you have in the battle zone. So he can break all shields in like 1 attack if you have enough survivors. Yeah, 9000 power pretty much kills anything, and yeah, really good card. So that's 20 survivors. The next 20 cards are just all support cards. So for the nature civilization, I have 4 faerie life. As you can see, a lot of the good survivors cost a lot of mana, like 6 mana, 5 mana, whatever. Faerie life just helps us get to that threshold quicker. And for that same reason, I'm running a playset of Bronze Arm Tribe along with them. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with Bronze Arm Tribe. Just ramps up the mana, all that good stuff. So that's a lot of mana ramp just in those cards. Onto the darkness section, I've got a playset of Bloody Squito. Just something good to play turn 2. Bit of defense, helps us get to that 6 mana threshold where we can play Q-tronic gargantua and hopefully finish the game. But yeah, you can't really go wrong with playing Bloody Squito. And of course, I'm running a playset of Terror Pit because I'm running darkness. Yeah, Terror Pit, awesome shield trigger, kills anything. And the last 4 cards of the deck is a playset of Tornado Flame, just because you need more fire cards in this deck to put into your mana zone, so you can play your blazosaurs and your Q-tronic gargantua, and yeah, tornado flame. Good shield trigger, good support card. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Like I said, there's a lot of survivors in this deck. Half the deck is made up of survivors, so I think that's really good. So yeah, if you're thinking about making a survivors deck, I'd sort of start off with a build similar to this. Survivors are a little bit gimmicky, but once you get the ball rolling, it can be quite hard to stop a survivors deck, that's for sure. So I hope you liked my deck profile, and hopefully I'll see you next time.